can speak.
Okay, we can hear you.
Awesome. Look at you guys. Look at what is going on in our show today. Awesome to have you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. When a band comes in, like, with such great sound, like the one that you guys have, we just get charged up, guys. That's what we live for. So we're thrilled to have you guys, the Heavy Hours, of course, Michael, AJ, Jonathan. It's who's not joining us?
Flint, our drummer, he's in Nashville right now.
Flint is here where we're recording from in Nashville. But welcome, guys. And you guys just released a kick-ass EP, of course, Wildfire, out now wherever you consume your music. But yeah, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We're excited.
Absolutely. So guys, let me start with this. On research, just looking at the stuff and like your live performances just this past summer and just from before, you guys have a great blend of like energy, but at the same time mindfulness. So, when I was thinking about this, and maybe let me ask Michael this, right? Like, what is your pre-show ritual to get to this stage? Because I remember one time, like, for example, I was in Nassau and I was like next to Green Day when they were doing it and they started beating each other up before they hit the stage. What is like your ritual to get to that state?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think lately we've been trying to honestly like have a pre-show ritual just so we can like do the same thing before every show, have some consistency. Because we want to go out there and give our best every night and not have any bad nights or anything like that. So having consistency in like everything we do is good. But that's been a relatively new thing. I think before a pre-show ritual was like me and maybe some of the other guys just like being nervous for a show, but I think that's gone away a little bit, and now we just try to kind of hang out and calm each other down and just be excited for the moment. Just like really be looking forward to going out there and playing on stage. Our pre-show ritual right now is a lot like what happens before you leave on a family vacation. It's like, did everybody go to the bathroom? Go to the bathroom one more time, and then we can do it.
Oh my God, I love that, guys. And but the nerves never go away, right? Like you hear some of these legendary acts saying that they never go away. You just learn how to like dance with them.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, the nerves, the excitement, it definitely never goes away. I think if they ever did, that would probably be a problem. But I think they're definitely like changing from nerves to genuine excitement, which I think has really been a fun transition for us, where instead of like nervous energy, it's excited energy.
I love that. Jonathan, let me ask you this, by the way, because some of the shows you guys have been playing lately have been incredible. I mean, you guys played Wrigley Field. You guys played Summerfest in Wisconsin. I mean, huge crowds. The energy was electric. Heard great stuff about your set, guys. How was it to go, from early in the summer, just easing into shows, small shows, last year, no shows, to really like not kicking up to like 100, like in such a short period of time? Was it like a little jarring?
Yeah, I mean, I guess jarring would be a great term, but like, I don't know. Every day we get to do this and we get to play shows, I just keep telling myself like, if it ended today, I've had a wonderful, couple of years like playing shows with these guys, and like every step we take just seems to be more exciting. And yeah, I'm just trying at this point not to take any of it for granted and just appreciate everything we get as it comes. And yeah.
Right on. And one of the things that we love here about the Heavy Hours, guys, is really each of you guys are so special and unique. I mean, each one of you has like your own skills, your talents. You're like a super group in a way. It's incredible. Like AJ, for example, right? Not only do you shred the guitar, but you're a successful entrepreneur. You have a great printing and like creative design studio. You studied architecture. I'd imagine you're very artistically fulfilled in every way, AJ, right? Like for an artist like you, how important is it to be able to focus on the music while knowing that all your other like artistic inklings are being itched, basically?
Yeah, so the band is a very interesting phenomenon because it is, it's the music side of my passion in life. I get to just sort of hunker down and be focused on being a songwriter and a guitarist. And what's kind of cool for me is that we have hired photographers and designers and artists to help
spend their efforts on our album art and our visual image. And so it's actually been sort of a relief. And also, it's been very cool to see other artists do for our band what I've done in the past for other bands. It's cool to be on this side of the equation.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and yeah, for sure. And Michael, that's a great point that AJ is bringing. But listening to the new EP, I mean, the songwriting just gets to you, Michael. It's just like really like to the chest. I mean, like for example, in Desperate Days, the fact that you can say something like, "When you're here in the morning light, it gets us through the night. Desperate days, but it feels so wrong. Lord, when the feeling is gone, how can we carry on?" Like this shit is just bananas, Michael. Like it's unbelievable. Do you walk around with like a notepad? Do you walk around with some sort of diary, like writing down poetry, which this is in essence, keeping track of your thoughts? Like the poems in a journal.
Oh man. I wish it was that organized, and then like I walked around like this deep thinking person, but I think it's more spontaneous than that. Like I think in a very like 21st century way, like I have my notepad thing on my phone that I'll like type out things that come to me or song ideas or whatever. But yeah, it's just usually weird, like I think songs and ideas and lyrics always like hit us three because we all write the songs like at the weirdest times, like when we're not trying to write a song or like I've gotten texts from AJ and John, at like 2 in the morning, like, oh, this melody just popped into my head. Take a listen to this. And it's like some like terrible voice memo with like horrible quality at 2 a.m. And I'm like, there's something there. That's really cool. So I think like yeah, it's more of a spontaneous thing that just kind of comes and you don't really know when it's gonna strike you again.
I love it. I love it. Like, guys, share with me the process a little bit here that Michael just talks about. Do you guys do you guys kind of like just get together and jam, no vocals sometimes, and like see what comes of it? Like, guide me through this.
Yeah, whenever we're, jamming, or whenever we're working through something that's sort of half baked, whenever we're going through a song idea, um, we don't ever have organized, the lyrics come last, but what comes first is sort of this like word salad or sort of like inaudible chanting, like
Yeah.
we are very focused on vocal melodies. We love
Mm,
those. And so when there's no lyrics, we just sort of hum into the microphone or shout nonsense. And so you
right.
are you are right. There's no lyrics, but we do treat the voice as sort of an instrument of its own to find out where it's going to lie.
I love that. And Jonathan, there's this obviously the story of how you guys started out, in a suburban home, abandoned. It's iconic at this point. But share with me a little bit, like, what memories do you have, Jonathan, of these first couple rehearsals? And when did you know, like, man, like these guys are actually like they're actually cool guys. They can play. Like, I think I can stand them, and they can stand me.
That's a good question. I mean, I think one of the greatest things about this band is we were friends long before we ever started playing music together. We, lived in grimy, packed houses in college together. We eat fast food every night. We were just like we just literally hung out all the time. And then, one day it just kind of organically occurred that we just, got into a space together and we're like, let's play music. And for a while, it was really bad. It was like, we had no idea what we were doing. We didn't know how to be in a band. Um, but I would say, one of the coolest things that happened by just, continuing to maintain our friendships with one another and continuing to get together is like eventually all of our egos, got left at the table, and we were able to pitch ideas like these weird 2 a.m., terrible audio recordings. And, if it works, it works. And if it didn't, nobody, felt insulted or offended. And I think that's like the best environment to write music together and to play music together is when people come together, they bring their art. And if it works, keep it and make it as good as you could possibly make it. And if it doesn't work, no harm, no foul. On to
Yeah.
the next idea. So
It's amazing you're saying this, Jonathan, because like looking at you guys live, just the way you guys communicate on stage is almost nonverbal, and it's like you guys understand each other's language, in a way. Like Michael, I saw you, like the way you communicate with Flint, for example. He's not here, but like it's almost like you give him a smirk and like he knows what you're doing. Like, is that because of this chemistry that you guys have built over the years?
Yeah, I think so for sure. We've always, tried to be friends first and like really put an emphasis on just like honestly just being as good as we can to each other and being there for each other outside of music and just being good friends and there for each other's families and stuff like that. So I think that was just a big emphasis. We didn't want to like feel like we were a band just like mismatched together just for the point of playing music. That we really wanted to emphasize the friendship thing. And we also just, I think we take it seriously and we have just put another really big emphasis on like we want to try to be as good of a band as we possibly can. Like we love the practice part of being in a band. We love like working through songs and the hard part, the non-glamorous part, just because if people are going to come out and pay to see us play music, we want to make sure that we have the best product we can for them. We want to make sure they don't waste their money. We just want to put on a really, really good live show. So we just have practice a lot, and I think that kind of pays off.
Yeah, and you guys sure as heck are doing that. And then, AJ, talk to me about the Dua Lipa cover as well, because talking about quality, hardcore. First of all, I mean, you guys spend a lot of time here in Nashville, and sometimes covers are like frowned upon in this town. But what you guys did is like you really reinvented it and like took it to another level. Where like just tell me a little bit about like when you guys like first approached this idea. Was any of you like, is this risky, and like how it kind of developed into a really great thing that you guys did here?
Yeah, so it's funny because over the past few years, our friends have always asked us to cover a pop song. They've always asked us, like, oh my gosh, you should try your guys' hand at Taylor Swift or Dua Lipa, stuff like that. And finally, our manager joined that bandwagon, and he was like, I think you guys should give it a try. And so we went up to Woodstock, New York, and we recorded with Simon Felice, and David Barron, the two guys that produced our EP and our record. And we just sort of turned this pop song with 1,000 layers into guitar, vocals, and a little bit of synth. And I think we all really enjoyed taking this super produced song and making it our own style.
Yeah, you certainly did that. Guys, you guys have been so good with your time. Thank you. I do want to ask you about Ohio, just the Buckeye State in general, because I love Ohio. I used to spend a lot of time there because my ex-wife is from Ohio. So I used to go to a lot to like Youngstown area and all that. I loved it. Loved the whole culture, the people like yourselves, and the music. It really is like an underrated like musical. I mean, the Pretenders, the Black Keys, you guys now are coming out of it. Can you just like tell us a little bit about what makes Ohio music so special? Because it's really special. It's really unique.
I don't know. If I had to put my finger on it, I would say in Ohio, there's nothing stopping you from creating a band and making music. I mean, it's not expensive to live here. There's no shortage of garages to practice in. There's parking on the street.
Right.
There's the Craigslist out here is very, very deep and wide with music.
I love it. It's like the dark web. I love it.
Yeah, Ohio is the dark web of the music industry.
And I think like when we were talking with Dan, when we wrote with him down in Nashville.
And of course, Dan Auerbach for my audience. You guys wrote with Dan Auerbach of the Black Keys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, it was fun talking to him about, because he's from Ohio too, and just talking about our home state. And I think there's just like a certain like blue collar like attitude that you just kind of like want to go try something and like work for something and put all of your effort into it and see if it works out. And I think that's what kind of he did. And he's just like a blue collar Ohio guy that just works really, really hard at being an amazing guitarist. And so just kind of Yeah, I think that kind of attitude seeps into a lot of the music around here.
I love it. I love it because as you guys keep growing, you're gonna keep that hunger, that grit, that hustle, and that's gonna take you guys far. And you guys are very talented. So thank you guys so much for joining us. What a great band, great chat.
Hey,
Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
Abs-